When I remember when I lost my mind.
It's the season finale, and today we have a man who's known the world over for his music. He's recorded in Spanish and English and hopes to learn French, having appeared on The Voice Canada and made Canada his home away from home. Jace Carrillo is here today for an exclusive interview with the Indie Wave podcast.
But it wasn't because I didn't know enough.
The Indie Wave podcast with That Sailing Guy. That Sailing Guy, also known as Christopher German. In partnership with Glacier FM and broadcasting from the birthplace of grunge, Aberdeen, Washington. Welcome to the Indie Wave podcast. Welcome to the season finale of the Indie Wave. This season, we circled the globe with our interviews and featured music from indie artists from virtually every genre on the music scene today. We had punk and country, big band and rap, blues, pop, grunge, even a touch of yacht rock. And today, we end our season with an artist who has topped the charts in South America and scored 1 million streams and a prestigious award for the best electronic music video in the 2022 Venezuelan Pepsi Music Awards. He's also tearing up the charts over at Glacier FM at the number 16 spot and building a huge name for himself in his new home of Montreal, Canada. If you didn't guess it already, Jace Carrillo is here today, and we have an exclusive interview with him, along with a couple of tracks of his English lyric music to share with you. So first up, we will hear the song that got him on top honors over at Glacier FM, Equinox, and follow that up with an in-depth interview we shot with Mr. Carrillo, and then we'll share his follow-up hit, Taking Off. So today, as we wind our season down, we have a way to heat things up here on Indie Wave with Jace Carrillo and his hit, Equinox. So let's get to it, shall we?
I can hear your voice when you're not around. You left me with no choice. Maybe somehow I'll find someone new. Somewhere the sun is rising up, I don't see it. When your days are heating up, mine are freezing. Maybe we're not close enough just to feel it, but I still believe. I believe in us. You wake up when the stars are out. I don't know where to start now. Could there be another way around? In this universe, I wake up in a lonely space, and one call seems so far away. Will time bring us back again? In this universe. We've been through all seasons by now. Our worlds are changing.
Hey folks, we have an incredible guy today. You might have caught him up on Canada's The Voice. You might have caught him on some of the amazing places that he's at Spotify. He's got over 8,000 listeners on Spotify. He's got something like 1.5 thousand subscribers on YouTube. So you may have already heard of him. But if you haven't heard of him, you should hear of him now, because this is an incredible artist. He is loved throughout the world. He was born in Argentina. He's now living in Montreal, and he's putting out some amazing music that everybody is falling in love with, including the folks over at Glacier FM, where they have him at number 16 on the Glacier FM Top 50 charts. Without further ado, let me please introduce you to, and I'm going to screw up his name because I have an American tongue, Jace Carrillo. Come on the screen, first, let's talk to you.
Actually, that was pretty much good.
Bueno, excellent, excellent. All right.
I just have to say something. I wasn't born in Argentina, even if I love that country so much, and I celebrated the final of the World Cup like if I was an Argentinian, you know.
Okay.
But I was born in Venezuela.
Venezuela. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was reading all of your stuff, and everybody says you come from Argentina on your bios and whatnot, so I messed it all up. I apologize.
No problem. Actually, the super cool fact about being born in Venezuela is that I'm at the north of the south, so I have this culture of the South American, and at the same time we are the beginning of the Caribbean as well. So the track that I'm promoting right now, it totally connects to that part of Venezuela that is all about beach and summer vibes.
Well, there you go. And I was checking that out. That's Moviendo, right?
Moviendo, yes.
I was just checking that out. You just actually debuted a copy of that today without the lyrics up on YouTube, and it's getting some phenomenal traffic right now as it's debuting. So congratulations on that. But we just finished playing your track Equinox, which is that's trending on Glacier FM at the number 16 spot. So you got all kinds of good work coming out right now, don't you?
Yeah, and it's all connected, you know. It's all part of the album called Phenomena, which is just an adventure. I try to come with this space sounds and somehow stories about love and experiences that I had in the past. But it's all reflecting this a little bit of sci-fi, trying to say, look, love, I see it as I see the universe, like kind of mystic, you know?
Okay.
People tell you what it is, but it's not until you discover it by yourself.
Well, and the truth of the matter is that we are an English podcast. We do everything in English, but you dance on both sides of that fence, and you do Spanish, you do English, you do everything. You cite your Justin Bieber as one of your influencers, but I certainly think you have a certain number of Spanish influences as well. So tell me about that. What's it like to be recording hits in both languages?
Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's a beautiful challenge. You know, I've since I came to Canada, it was by fall 2015. I decided to break that barrier of languages and start experimenting with the cultures here. You know, Canada is a beautiful place where many cultures and many people from different parts of the world come and interact and somehow create a community. So I was learning French, learning English, and well, I said, why not? We're just citizens of the world. This is a perfect time to make music in Spanish, but also I wanted to. I felt inspired by people like Justin Bieber, but also by artists like Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, that they are crossover artists, right? In the end.
Well, and quite frankly, I caught a clip of your recording from the Voice Canada, and you do have a wonderful French accent that you're playing there, because I did take a bunch of French in high school, so I recognize a good French accent, and you, quite frankly, you sounded pretty darn good in that as well.
Merci beaucoup.
Oh, derrière. But you're amazing in all your languages that you do. But you know, the truth of the matter is that you're getting a tremendous amount of traffic. You're getting a tremendous amount of love. You're an indie artist, but you're getting all kinds of success on Spotify. You're getting all kinds of success on YouTube. Tell me about that. What's been life like after The Voice Canada, and how have you been growing? What have you been doing?
Yeah, you know, people always tell you like patience is a true the true game, right? And I feel like it's definitely patience is can I say bad words?
Sure, go ahead. The kids aren't involved.
Yeah, patience is a bitch. Like I can say that definitely.
Patience my ass. I want to kill something now, right?
Definitely, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. I've had amazing moments and moments where I feel like I want to quit, and I just I just decided to do it for myself and release music that I like, things that I feel that I connect with, and it makes me somehow demonstrate my true self and what I'm really looking forward to develop as an artist. So I found that this project where I put my own concept on the table, well, it's starting to do good and to connect with people, and I just have to be grateful for that. But I know that there's also this part of me that wants more, that I really wanna represent Canada as huge as we see these big names, The Weeknd, Justin Bieber, of course, Drake, and many other artists that represent Canada so well. Like I don't know, we can name so many people, and I want to be part of that. I want to be that Latin artist that is representing Venezuela and the Latin community, but also Canada.
Well, you know, it's funny.
I
I got a comment on my LinkedIn profile a couple weeks ago. I had Heidi Hyacinth on there, and she's a country star out there in British Columbia. And you know, the truth of the matter is that one of the women that commented on my LinkedIn profile said, "Thank God you're covering the Canadian artists." Do you think that there's just not enough attention being given to Canadian artists?
I actually feel like, and as a Canadian citizen now, I think we have to open the business and the music industry a little bit more to styles like Latin music, for example. I think this is Latin music. It became so big. It's not only about reggaeton and sounds like that. I think it's Latin music can be represented as well by pop and R&B and by genres that are not necessarily Latin itself, you know, like people think Latin music is only salsa, merengue, and reggaeton, and it's not like that. I do Latin music, but I do pop. I do styles that are really Anglo, let's say, you know, and
that's an interesting that's a very interesting question, because I was trying to, when I was kind of I prepare my little opening spiel when I'm talking about an artist, and I kind of get a couple words in my head. I never write anything down, but I was trying to figure out what I would classify your work as. And I couldn't come up with a term to stylize your work. It's got some R&B, it's got some pop, it's got some hip hop, it's got a whole bunch of different things in there. And then you mix in that wonderful R that you're rolling in there, and then that adds a little bit of a salsa to it. You know, you got a whole bunch of spice in there, but you also got a lot of Anglo in there as well. So what would you call your music? How would you describe your music?
I think if I have to put it in a box, I would say then it's pop, just because it's a fusion of many things, and it's not that I follow trends. It's just that I evolve with the sounds, you know, and I try to put things that represent my roots and things that I'm absorbing while listening to many styles and genres and artists as well, because we are in constant evolution, you know. And I just love. I could just sing a bachata tomorrow. I could sing a rock. I could sing any other style, but I'm always gonna be. I will keep my essence as Jace Carrillo. You know, I wouldn't change who I am. So I think I'm pretty sure of what I can bring as an artist, and I'm ready to evolve through time. You know.
Well, and honesty. I mean, as we're looking at this from an American perspective, everybody in America has a little bit of Spanish that they can still play with, and at least affect a little bit of communication with. And quite frankly, I was listening to the lyrics, and thank God you have a lot of lyric videos on your YouTube page. But you know, I was listening to it, and I understood a good bit of what you were talking about. So even with my anglicized American ears, I could still appreciate the lyrics. I could still appreciate the rhythm. I could still appreciate the style that you put into it. And so, I mean, I think there's a blurring of the lines between what's English and what's not English music these days. So everybody can love everything. And that's the best part about the indie wave, right?
That's amazing. And I think what I'm saying is that I want to talk to people like you, like, as you say, like, your open mind to listen to things that are not necessarily your language. And at the same time, I want to speak to people that want to learn Spanish, maybe, or people that are not necessarily English speakers, but they can see that they can try as well. They can see that they can adapt, they can learn, they can get out of the box as I'm doing, getting out of my comfort zone, but at the same time learning so much through these experiences of singing in English or in French. I think this world nowadays, I'm saying it as a reference of how it was in the past. When I was in Venezuela, my parents, my family, they were singing English songs without knowing what it meant. Right. Without knowing the lyrics, what it was saying. Sometimes they were just imitating somehow what they were saying, but they were not pronouncing properly. They were just they just liked the rhythm, the melody, but I absorbed all of that. Now that I'm singing in English, but I'm singing in Spanish mostly, I see people that they don't speak my language, my maiden language, but they can still imitate what I'm saying. That's the case of my girlfriend. My girlfriend does that. Like, she doesn't understand everything, but she repeats and she's
is she a French speaker?
She's a French and Anglo speaker. So yeah. Yeah, she's Canadian.
Well, tell me, do we have a French album coming out in your future?
It's in my plans. I definitely think that I want to focus on Phenomena, the album itself. There are some songs, as you said, Equinox, Taking Off. These songs are in English. And I'm brainstorming possibilities of collaborations with other artists, and definitely I'm super open to maybe mold those songs of the album in other languages as well, as remixes. So let's see what the world brings in the future, in the near future, and yeah, I just want to bring good lyrics, good messages, my own experiences, but I think what I'm bringing on the table can connect with everybody.
Well, I have to thank you for making such a great show of the indie tent that we have that is enveloping all parts of the world, and everybody is allowed to be part of the indie wave. Everybody is allowed to be part of this, and I love the mark that you're making on this indelible, monstrous wave that is washing over the world of independent music. And I want to thank you for doing that, and I also want to thank you for mentioning Taking Off, because I think that's the song we're going to follow up this interview with as your second track, because as you said, it is in English. And our listeners that are the English speakers will hear that. But I also encourage everybody out there, check out his YouTube video, because all of his Spanish music is on there as well. And it's great music. It's great vibe. It's great. As one interviewer said, it's tough to stay in your seat when his music is playing, because you just want to get up and dance around. Is that correct?
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, as an independent artist, I know it's hard out there. I know there's more music than ever. I know it's a challenge to be an artist nowadays, but I can tell you, we just have to be ready to do everything we can, but to do it right. So I've been focusing on doing my music with a lot of quality, and the videos that I'm putting out there in my social media or on YouTube. I think I'm putting my heart out and my mind as well. So I just my recommendation for other artists will be just keep pushing quality music, and let's just keep bringing things that we feel comfortable with.
And let's just enjoy this wave of independent music that is washing over the world. All right?
Of course.
Excellent.
Definitely.
So without further ado, we are now going to play Jace Carrillo and his hit Taking Off on the Indie Wave podcast. Hey, take a listen and stay tuned, because we have the takeaway coming up right after this.
We're taking off, and your body's sensational. Ain't no more stars above. Interest and style of love. Because I know you got what I want, babe. Yeah, yeah. Your mind and body I'm loving. Oh, nothing can stop us. Feelings are taking over. No more stars above, it's only us. Yeah, yeah, magnífico, místico el paisaje. Me encanta tu físico. Soy astronauta y no voy a ningún lugar donde no vayas a estar. Si nos toca aterrizar de forma inmediata, no perdemos control, porque sé que tienes la clave. Yeah, yeah, tu mente y cuerpo lo saben. Oh, no, no le hace falta quien maneje la nave. Tú te luces tanto, baby. Oh, because I know you got what I want, babe. Yeah, 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 you're mind and body I'm loving. Oh, nothing can stop us. Feelings are taking over. Now you got the power, baby. Oh, 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 yeah. No more space, come close. Taking off. No more stars above, it's only us. Now we're far from home, but we're enough. We don't lose control, 'cause we're in love. We're in love. Yeah. Phenomena.
Hi, I'm that sailing guy, host of the Indie Wave podcast. Each week we meet and learn about some of the most talented artists from the indie music scene today, and you can hear all their great work streaming on Glacier FM and Glacier Underground 24/7. Just head over to the planet's #1 internet radio station, glacierfm.com, for a live stream of all the great hits we feature each week. And tune in on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. for the latest edition of the Indie Wave podcast, only at glacierfm.com. The season that was our first was an amazing one, don't you think? We kicked things off with Joe Weimer and then touched base with August Rain in Iridescence. Chatted with Kurt Gott and Katie Bell. Got a taste of the movie scene with Kaz Weinbrenn and Vicky Lynn Smith. We learned about making music for a good cause from Iris Colton and chilled out with Dossie. And that's just a few of the amazingly talented folks we interviewed this season. In other news, we topped 1,800 subs on YouTube and had more than 55,000 downloads of our podcast and reached every continent with our message of inclusivity and freedom in the indie music universe. And that was just the first season. In season 2, we will have even more growth and even more music to share. And so for this takeaway, I want to say, stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching. Well, that's it. Stick a fork in us. We are now done. By the time you're hearing this, I will be knee-deep in a volcanic lake in southern Oregon and spending my summer at the helm of a boat. I am that sailing guy, after all. When the winds cools down a bit and the leaves begin to turn, I will be back. And we will have even more to share from the Indieverse and even more music to celebrate. Because after all, thousands of new artists join this indie movement every day, and we aim to celebrate each and every single one of them. I want to thank you for joining us for this season and playing along. And I also want to send a big thanks out to Glacier FM and, of course, Jace Carrillo. This summer, share these videos with your friends and make sure you hit that subscribe button to be notified when our new season starts up in the fall. Remember, do good, have fun, and sail far this summer. I'm that sailing guy, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye for now.